I mean, oh, wow. 3 Days to Kill follows Kevin Costner, and he works for the CIA, and he's the best one they have, but he wants to retire because he's dying. He wants to spend time with his family before he dies, but then he gets pulled back into the terrorist stuff, and he has to go after a terrorist named the Wolf. And he's trying to spend time with his daughter at the same time, and that's this movie. 3 Days to Kill looked really bad to me. I mean, it didn't look good, it didn't look fun, it just looked generic and garbage. It's directed by McG, so no hype whatsoever. I hate McG. The only movie of his I've ever, like, sort of liked was This Means War, and that was because of the leads, not because of his direction. But moving on from that, this movie, it's just so stupid. Let's start with the good. Let's start with the good. Kevin Costner is good in this movie. He's a solid lead. He does well in his role. I enjoyed him on screen. And Hailee Steinfeld plays his daughter. It's nice to see her back in movies, and she was good in the movie too. She and Kevin Costner worked well together because they have a lot of scenes together. That's kind of it for a good in the movie. I mean, wow. First of all, McG does not know how to direct a movie for his life. It just looks like a music video, and it doesn't look cool. It looks just generic. The way he films the action, maybe I'm just a little sensitive because of Pompeii, but there was so much quick cutting in the action. Not necessarily shaky cam, but there was so many quick cuts as the action was going on. It's just not necessary. And the writing for this movie is just the worst. I mean, this movie really tries to be funny so hard. I chuckled a few times in the movie. I never laughed. It's just, I feel like this movie thinks it's being funny when it's not. Take this, for example, in the movie. There's a scene, or a couple scenes in the movie, where French people are speaking English. They have French accents, but they're speaking English, and they're putting subtitles on the bottom of the screen. Now, I'm not sure if that's an attempt at humor, or you think your audience is so dumb that they can't understand accents. I'm assuming it's the former, but it wasn't funny. In this movie, I thought it was gonna be like an action movie where he goes after these terrorists, but a good portion of this movie is spent on his family time, and at points in the movie, it just completely overtakes the plot, and you just completely forget that he's going after these terrorists, because there's so much. They cram so much of this family drama into it, and how he always trying to reconnect with his daughter, but they do it so much that it just, every time you come back to the terrorist plot, you're like, holy shit, he's still going after them? What? And the stuff with his daughter, it's like, oh, okay, it's just father-daughter, oh, they're gonna bond, and yeah, there that is. But when they go to the terrorist stuff, it gets so much worse, because Amber Heard is the person who brings him back into the CIA, and she's just, wow, she is just really bad in this movie, and that's an understatement. She's terrible, she's miscast, and her character is pretty much just like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just stupid. And the villains in this movie, one of them's called the Wolf, and one of them's the albino, and the albino is bald, so that makes him an albino, so yeah, and just the villains are just, they're cartoony villains. They're like they're like James Bond villains, except really cheesy and over the top and not nearly as good. This movie tries so hard to be so many different things that it just implodes in on itself, and it makes for a very terrible time at the movies. Like, I'm not even kidding right now. While I was watching this movie, I was literally sitting there watching the movie thinking, why do I review movies? This is what I get. It's not a joke, that's actually what I thought. The movie was so terrible. The only bright spots were Hailee Steinfeld and Kevin Costner, but the movie, it's so dumb. The action is not fun to watch. The story is, there basically isn't a story, really. I wish that this movie was better, because Kevin Costner really did a good job in the movie, but it's just not good. I'm giving 3 Days to Kill a D. Just don't go see it. If you really need to see a movie this weekend, go see Pompeii. That's much better, and that's really shocking to say. So what'd you guys think of 3 Days to Kill? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? I would say what's your favorite McG movie, but I don't think any of his movies are good. So rate your beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there. Because if you don't, can we get some good movies, please?